Alright, everybody, welcome back to Tokyo Dark. If this is your first time watching, or if you are a returning viewer, I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoy my playthrough, please show your support by leaving me a like, a comment, or subscribe to my channel for this and other playthroughs. We are headed to the tea shop. That is our next destination. Inside is the interior of a traditional tea shop, but it doesn't look like anyone's been there recently. Welcome, come in. Do sit down. No need to be so formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you Yasuhisa? Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr. Kawana? Still prickly as ever, I suppose. I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. It's the quirks that come with old age, you know? What does Mr. Kawana think I can help you with? I'm looking into a few things related to the Kamenkai, the group his family got mixed up in. Ah, a more difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share that name. The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the guru Tokimasa. The second is an ancient order over 1,000 years old. What's that you're holding? I was told it's related to the Common Kai, or the newer one, and that you could tell me about it. Ah, that explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. I imagine you have many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet a mask cannot lie or contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human faces we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came to be in possession of an object with such a dark history. I think it might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Relic. If it's from the Common Kai cult from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Only, I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it. For instance, like why... Now that I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you. Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place? Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real? Why you feel a strong will exerting itself on you? Oh yes, I know all about those things too. How could you know about that? When Tokimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomena as the ravings of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise. Most interesting. Tell me, detective. Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Ha! My mistake. You must forgive me. A slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have such a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see. And you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're chasing. Tell me, does me telling you that your experiences are not an illusion provide you any level of comfort? I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope. It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah, yes. Knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such import would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate? Pre-measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes, and our ends the minute we come into existence? Or, conversely, is our thread subject to the chaos inherent in our universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds and that which happens to us seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which thread of life are cut short and which are followed? Yes, of course. Maybe you feel your life has been somewhat out of your control as of late? Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I've had much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Kamen Kai. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for. Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should have come as no surprise that the creation of such a mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favor. Don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? A book of the missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer. Mask bearer? Huh, that's me, right? Although you carry it, that does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me. Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking? Oh, you needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building. In fact, as I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, cannot leave my shop. He's right outside? This won't take long. I'll be right back. The old tea shop next door? Isn't that place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? Pure conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by the kendo instructor from the dojo down the street on account of him being the only one I ever see in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. Possibly he's a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Oh man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I ought to ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him, Word through the grapevine is that he's a regional champion or something and has trained some of the best. Lots of cops train with him too, so he must be good. Maybe he's not so crazy after all. Speaking of which, I have a bit of a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there? Maybe recently? I was led to believe you would. Huh? Oh jeez. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but you know, I spend a lot of time outside it, and half the time the door's wide open. So one day, a few months back, I decided to take a look around. Nothing suspicious or nothing. I was just curious is all. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old, and there was all sorts of weird stuff laying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing, so I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep in the dumps sometimes, so I try to be on standby for when that happens, you know? So I figured a little gift would cheer him up. And back then he was going through some particularly tough times. His bitch wife, pardon my language, miss, had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it, like he's in denial or something. Whoops, got off track again. I was heading to visit him with the, ill-gotten book when I get this phone call saying he was in the hospital. He OD'd on expensive sake and sleeping pills. Thank God that idiot decided to do it at the bar he owns with the door unlocked. A customer came in and called an ambulance. If it weren't for that, I'm not sure he'd still be here. That's quite a story. Sounds to me like he wanted to be found. Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in the hospital. Tried to show him that even when he was at his lowest, there was someone out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped. For a minute, anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him leave, he went right back to that toxic little bar. I hope he's okay. He's got issues, but he's my little brother, and I worry about him. He's not been answering my phone calls lately. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, had the brilliant idea to put his skill to work in a cheap part of town. Despite that, he's holding on to it with everything he's got. The place is slowly bankrupting him, but he won't let it go. All he has to do is sign some paper and move on, but he can't. Something about it has its claws sink deep into him. I've been trying to get him to join me in my business for years. He's a great chef and we could make a killing. Maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passers-by and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Plus, food stands are doing really well abroad, I hear. Much better than wasting away in Shinjuku at any rate. Shinjuku? Yeah, in a slimy little side street. Anyway, if that book is important to you, he's probably still got it at his place. You want the address? Wait, I knew you looked familiar. Your brother stayed so, right? You know him? Small world. Was probably the smile on my face that threw you off. Tell him his brother Haruto says hi. While you're at it, tell him that takoyaki stands are still the future of cuisine and to get his butt over here. I'll do that. Thanks for all your help. Hi, Ayami. How can I help you today? Hey, Daitso. How are things? Oh, you know, same old, same old. Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in Asakusa today. Haruto? You met Haruto? What are the chances? Who knows? Maybe it was preordained. Huh? Who'd have thought? So, is he still selling takoyaki at his stand? Did he say anything? He is. He said to remind you that takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine and that you should go and help him. Yeah, you talked to Haruto all right. Always the optimist, that guy. I actually have a favor to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago? The only thing that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you, Ayami. He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital. Oh, what makes you think I was in the hospital? I don't even go to the hospital for checkups. Besides, that dolt's bringing me stuff all the time, always trying to drag me kicking and screaming over to where the grass is greener. This would have been more recently, after a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask. Oh, no, no, it's fine. That idiot. Always running his mouth. Friggin' traitor. Those were just some, hard times. Nothing serious. I just drank too much is all. I... I'm sorry, Detective, but I don't want to talk about it. Alright, understood. I'm not here to dig up bad memories, Daitso. Thanks. You said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember Haruto giving me an old magazine, though, back in the hospital. It was one of the ones I used to read when I was younger, when things weren't quite so complicated. Wait there a second. I may have it in the storeroom still. Dang it. Sorry, Ayami. Hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out, huh? Here it is. It's yours, Detective. Huh. Hey, no wonder I recognize that photo you brought by. It's the same girl, an idol named Ruby. Reina. No, Ruby. See? It says so right there on the cover. Pretty crazy that it was still in my shop. Guess that means you're still looking for her. I wonder why we keep running into each other. Must be fate. I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. If you say so, Daiso. Do you mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About time I started getting rid of some of my old junk. Thank you. See you around, Ayami. Take care, Daiso. Welcome back, Detective. Is that my book I see in your hands? Guess I'm a little surprised. Are you trying to tell me Reina is the mask bearer you talked about? That's hard to believe. Does it surprise you? After all, it is she who you see in the dark, is it not? The dark. That's what the collector called it too. How'd Reina get tied up in all this? I only know that fate has intertwined the girl's life with the forces in the mask, but the machinations behind those circumstances are a mystery, I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past, involving old men and black and white pictures, but that book and the girl are as much a part of history as the rest. The threads that connect the past to the present and people to each other are not always apparent. But peel back the layers of connection, and the randomness of our universe neatly orders itself. A teen idol, an ancient order, the tool they created, and the detective who holds it now, all forming a neat and tidy line. Reina was some sort of idol living in Tokyo, not part of a sleeper cell of some cult. It doesn't add up. On that, Detective, we can agree. So why don't we start at the beginning? To how the mask ceased to be a mere object. The story starts in ancient times in the year 1333. At that time, Kamakura was the capital of Japan. Led by the Hojo clan, it was a time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment. Peace among men is cyclical, and like so many before them and so many after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nitta clan, loyal to Emperor Go-Daigo, led a siege against the Hojo-controlled Kamakura, taking the city as the tide receded, leaving a key passage open to the invaders. The Hojo clan fled to the caves of their family temple. For them, there was no hope of victory or escape. They chose to retain their honor. Instead of surrendering, the 870 Hojo samurai, including the last 3 regents, committed mass suicide. However, the Hojo and Nitta clans, embroiled in their quest for empire, could not see the role they played in the plans of another group, the religious sect known as the Common Kai. It is said that in the flames of Kamakura, a girl was seen wandering the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. A girl lost to the histories by the name of Chikako Shichijo, the last survivor of the Common Kai. Okay, so whatever the Common Kai were trying to do, they failed. I mean, they all died, right? No, they did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned. Chikako Shichijo did not survive by chance. She was chosen. Chosen for what? To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded. To become the first mask bearer. Mask bearer. The Common Kai used the deaths of all those people to create this? Why? Legend has it, the Common Kai sought to contain the door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness ceases to be and time holds no meaning, a place where cause and effect could be changed. Why? Why spend so much human life and give up so much to do that? To stop it from being abused. Imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are of no consequence. This is the power of the door. To a mortal mind, obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless accomplishment, such power would corrupt absolutely, a power over death. So a dark place was created to obscure the door and hide it from mortal eyes, along with a tool to control and see within the darkness. It's true, all of it. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. Finding the door could be the key to bringing Tanaka back. Some doors, no matter how strong they call to us, are not meant to be opened. And the Common Kai willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the mind to all who come in contact with it, but it is intended for its bearer. Using it to find the door may destroy you. Maybe you're right, but I can at least use it to find my way in the dark, just like the collector said. The only thing I don't get is how Reina is connected to it. That is a mystery. As Mr. Kawana told you, the last known location of the mask was the Common Kai cult only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed about the Common Kai under Tokimasa. They existed, and then on March 4th, 1996, they met their end. There were many theories that the police killed them during their raid of the compound, or that someone within the cult had snapped and murdered the others. Nothing but conjecture, I'm afraid. The real answer lies somewhere deep within police records, and though I remain curious, it is not something I have access to. Perhaps the best place to start is there. Finding out about the last days of the Common Kai may help light your path to the truth. Though I wonder if such an object, bred from suffering, can truly put an end to it. Is it you who can finally break this terrible cycle? I've spent a long time here. I'm tired. So tired. Farewell, detective. Sitting there comfortably, the historian Yasuhisa casually laid out everything that I have experienced, like he was reading it out of a book. A mass suicide, ancient groups, and a door to the spiritual realm. It sounds like a myth, an interesting story told to travelers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it relates to Kazuki and Reina. I can't see it. The bridge between the Kamakura samurai and a young girl. He said Reina fit into the story. She's a mask bearer. But how? Yasuhisa, the collector I thought when I'd met them I'd entered their world and could start to understand, however faintly. But my intuition as a detective tells me they're hiding something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day is it anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Day turns to night. The hours bleed into each other. Even the seasons don't seem to follow the natural order anymore. Everything's blurring together. Ugh, my head. Maybe I should take my medication? Impossible as it seems, following the old man's hunch is my best bet to finally understanding the mask. Even Takashi didn't know what happened to the common Kai. Finding the police report is the way forward. A few weeks ago, it would have been easy for me to ask around and pull a file. It'll be a bit more difficult now, I imagine. What's the worst that can happen? I should head to Police HQ and see what I can find. Oh, shit. You gotta be kidding me. Funny, me and some of the other guys were just talking about you after practice the other day. Specifically, we were taking bets as to how long it would be before you showed your face again. Shame, you coming in here now costs me 10,000 yen. Tch, not that it matters. Ever since you left, things are looking up for me. I won the last department kendo tournament, and I've been enjoying my promotion. Oh yeah, thanks for the new office, by the way. Anyway, non-active duty cops, or you, in other words, ain't allowed in HQ right now, so what do you want? I guess that's to be expected from someone who's had a breakdown or two, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that was private, your little episodes? Hate to break it to you, but I saw your file. Still don't understand how Tanaka wound up with a crazy little thing like you. You know, he used to tell us about it. Your little romantic escapades. All the juicy details. I'm sorry. Did you think that was private too? The thing is, Ito, you were just another part of the talk in the locker room. Or did you think it was more than that? Get out of here. There's nothing for you. Okay, well, I already know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to save it here. And in the next episode, we are going to see what happens and what choices shall be made. If you enjoyed my video, please leave me a like, a comment, or subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great day or night. Y'all are so awesome. And peace out.